आज हमारा पहला पॉडकास्ट है। तो कैसे लग रहा है?
अच्छा ही लग रहा है। पता नहीं क्या होगा।
हाँ,
बट
तो
देखते हैं।
हम लोग अभी भी नहीं सोच पाए कि टॉपिक क्या होगा, राइट? तो मतलब टॉपिक, मतलब तुम्हारे कौन से चीज में ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट आता है? स्पोर्ट्स में, पॉलिटिक्स में, क्या बोले, माइथोलॉजी में, इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स, नेशनल पॉलिटिक्स, बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स होते हैं, वुमेन इश्यूज। तो कौन से चीज में तुम्हारे भावना ज्यादा आता है, या तुम्हारे क्या लगता है? या हमारा जो बिजनेस इकोसिस्टम है, स्टार्टअप का जो है, एज वी आर आल्सो, ये तो स्टार्टअप ही है।
देखो, हर जगह का एक वाइब्स होता है, ठीक
ओके।
है। इस प्रेमाइसेस का एक वाइब्स है कि घुसते ही एक स्टार्टअप कल्चर का तुमको वो वाइब्स मिलने लगेगा। तो यहाँ बैठ के तुम मतलब उसको डिनाई नहीं कर सकते। स्टार्टअप कल्चर पर डिस्कस करते
तो स्टार्टअप कल्चर में अभी इंडिया में जो बूम आया था पहली बार, जो 2010 11 12, जिस टाइम पे पेटीएम बहुत बड़ा बना था, इंडियन वॉलेट सिस्टम बहुत बड़ा था, दैट टाइम आई थिंक द स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम एक्चुअली स्टार्टेड इन इंडिया। And after 10 years, after 13 years, where do you see that startup ecosystem?
सो एक स्टार्टअप करने के लिए जिसको हम बोल रहे हैं कि देयर इज एन इकोसिस्टम। ठीक है। सो व्हाट एक्चुअली इज एन इकोसिस्टम? ठीक है। मेरे हिसाब से द ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस इज द इकोसिस्टम।
अभी क्या लगता है, is become more ease or more harder?
No, so the competition has increased like exponentially, but the ease to start a business has it has become very easy. The ease of doing business.
कंपटीशन ओवर टाइम ग्रो किया है, इसका मतलब है कि इंडिया में बिजनेस ग्रो किया है।
इंडिया में
अदरवाइज यू वॉन्ट
डेफिनेटली
सी अ
बिजनेस ग्रो।
कंपटीशन, राइट?
मतलब अभी तुम देखो यूथ में तो एक परसेंटेज है जो सोचता है कि हमको अपना खुद का कुछ करना है। ठीक है। पहले जब हम लोग का टाइम था, मियर एक आध परसेंट ही लोग था जो मतलब उस कैटेगरी को हटा दो जिसमें फैमिली बिजनेस इन्वॉल्व हो रहा है।
करेक्ट,
ठीक है।
करेक्ट।
उसके
वो तो
अलावा
स्टार्टअप भी नहीं है, स्टार्टअप
राइट।
डेफिनेशन में वो फॉल करता भी नहीं है।
तो उसके अलावा जनरली तुम देखोगे तो 99% लोग का ये माइंडसेट ही नहीं था कि किसी स्टार्टअप या खुद का कुछ एक बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना है। ठीक है। और वो ग्रेजुअली बहुत चेंज किया है ओवर टाइम।
What do you think? What is the most important thing it played in the role? Like, क्यों हुआ है ये सिनेरियो चेंज हुआ है?
मेरे हिसाब से एक
प्राइवेटाइजेशन हो सकता है, वो शार्क टैंक का आने का हो सकता है, या वी कैन नाउ सी अ सुपरस्टार इन स्टार्टअप्स।
नहीं,
अभी
मेरे हिसाब से उसका मतलब क्या कहते हैं, ग्लोरिफिकेशन हुआ है ये सब आने से।
मतलब ग्लैमर बढ़ा है स्टार्टअप
ग्लैमर
में।
बढ़ा है। जब शार्क टैंक आया तो वो सारा स्टार्टअप्स पहले से था। मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि शार्क टैंक आने से बहुत सारा स्टार्टअप्स खुल गया। उसका भी कुछ परसेंटेज होगा। बट वो चीज़ का ग्लैमराइज हो गया। ठीक है। जब शार्क टैंक पे कोई गया, उसका प्रमोशन हुआ, तो स्टार्टअप्स उसके पहले से बन रहा था। बहुत सारा स्टार्टअप्स बन चुका था। बट उसका ग्लैमराइजेशन हुआ शार्क टैंक के आने से। इसमें मेजर रोल एक स्टार्टअप के लिए, मतलब वापस उसी पॉइंट पे जाएंगे कि एक गवर्नमेंट का बहुत इम्पैक्ट होता है। ठीक है। जैसे कोई भी एक चीज़ करना है तो तुम कितना इजीली उसको ऑनलाइन रजिस्टर कर सकते हो। ठीक है। आज हमको एक लेट्स से एक एलएलपी छोटा सा एक अपना कंपनी बनाना है। ठीक है। यू डू नॉट नीड टू गो एनीवेयर। ठीक है। इट वाज नॉट द सेम आज से 15 साल पहले। अभी तुम अपना एक लैपटॉप खोलोगे एंड यू कैन डू एवरीथिंग ऑनलाइन। मतलब फ्रॉम स्क्रैच यू कैन बिल्ड योर इकोसिस्टम।
So, like, do you think like government played a major role here, or like जुग का जो बदलते हुए समय है उसमें ये होना ही था? How you'll describe this?
It had to change with time, but several factors accelerate this process.
मतलब
ठीक है।
तुम्हारे हिसाब से अगर हमारे गवर्नमेंट और कुछ गवर्नमेंट रहते, जैसे ब्राजील गवर्नमेंट या अफ्रीकन गवर्नमेंट, उसी ख्यालात में रहता, तो ये नहीं देख पाते हम।
नहीं देख पाते। मतलब इस पॉइंट पे नहीं देख पाते। हो सकता है इस मतलब सेम स्टेज हम 10 साल बाद देख पाते। ठीक है। बट ये जो इंडियन इसमें फिगर क्या बोलते हैं इसको, इंडियन जो भी एक डायनेमिक्स में वो हेल्प किया है गवर्नमेंट का एक पॉजिटिव अप्रोच टुवर्ड्स दिस।
तो व्हाट आई कैन सी इज लाइक सॉफ्टवेयर्स में, एप्स में यानी सारी चीज़ों में हम लोग बहुत सक्सेस एंड डिप्लॉयमेंट एंड आईपीओ ये सब अभी देख रहे हैं, लेकिन मैन्युफैक्चर में ज़्यादा स्टार्टअप्स नहीं देख रहे। इसके लिए भी तुम बोलना चाहोगे गवर्नमेंट का कुछ रोल्स है या हमारे माइंडसेट में कुछ है?
मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इज समथिंग यू नीड टू क्रैक।
अभी तक हम लोग क्रैक नहीं किए, दैट्स फॉर
नहीं,
श्योर।
वी हैवंट क्रैक्ड दैट।
हाउ वी क्रैक सॉफ्टवेयर बिफोर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, लाइक सॉफ्टवेयर को क्यों हम लोग ज्यादा कैचअप किया,
क्योंकि
मैन्युफैक्चरिंग
उसमें
और नहीं क्यों नहीं
इन्वेस्टमेंट
किया?
नहीं चाहिए था। ठीक है, एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनाने के लिए यू डू नॉट नीड इन्वेस्टमेंट, यू नीड योर ग्रिड, यू नीड योर टाइम, यू नीड अ लैपटॉप। ठीक है, यू कैन डू एनीथिंग ओवर अ लैपटॉप।
इफ यू थिंक लाइक दैट अप्रोच तो उसमें तो किसी भी कंट्री के लिए ये ट्रू है, राइट?
करेक्ट।
तो हर एक कंट्री सॉफ्टवेयर में क्यों उतना अच्छा नहीं किया है?
क्योंकि वी आर गुड एट इट।
तो दो
वाई आर
दो
वी गुड एट
कन्फ्लिक्ट
इट?
आ गया इधर
ठीक है,
कि हाँ, व्हाई वी आर गुड एट इट?
वाई वी आर गुड एट इट।
तुम्हारे हिसाब से क्या लगता है?
मेरे हिसाब से लगता है कि हमारा मतलब एजुकेशन एक क्या बोलते हैं, ग्रेजुएशन के बाद एक इंजीनियरिंग फील्ड एक बाय डिफॉल्ट ऑप्शन बन गया लोगों के लिए। ठीक है, सब इंजीनियर ही बनता जा रहा है, सब इंजीनियर ही
You are
बनता जा रहा
talking about middle caste higher या lower to higher middle class society.
है। करेक्ट।
Okay.
ठीक है, एंड मैक्सिमम लोग जो तुम सॉफ्टवेयर में देखोगे विल बिलोंग टू दिस पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन ऑफ द सोसाइटी।
But when I took the BTech, that time also सॉफ्टवेयर का उतना क्रेज नहीं था
नहीं
उधर,
था।
लेकिन जो कोर
बट
इंजीनियरिंग है।
कितना लोग इंजीनियर बन रहा था एक उस साल में, तुम ये देखो। मतलब तुम और कोई भी फील्ड उठा के देख लो। ठीक है, उस पॉइंट इन टाइम में कि लेट्स से 2012, ठीक है, तो 2012 में जो रेशियो ऑफ पास आउट ग्रेजुएट्स में इंजीनियर होगा, इट विल बी सिग्निफिकेंटली हायर देन एनी अदर फील्ड। ठीक है, जो स्पेशलाइज्ड फील्ड है, नॉट कि लोग बीए कर रहा है ये कर रहा है, एक स्पेशलाइज्ड फील्ड होता है ना कि टेक्निकल स्पेशलाइजेशन का बात होता है।
तो अभी लेट्स सपोज वी आर इन 2024, लेट्स सी अगेन 10 years ahead of today's time. So what do you think, like manufacturing will take up on the software space, or software will go more farther away and then manufacture will go, like how you'll see after 10 years how
We
the
will
picture will be?
become, bhai, we are already becoming a like a leader in software. ठीक
So
है,
will
एंड
able
इट,
to continue this space,
या वी
that's my
विल बी
question.
एबल टू कंटिन्यू दिस थिंग्स।
Why do you think we are the only person who will able to continue this way? There will be other countries who will compete with us, right?
We, when we pass out from an engineering college here, right, we are not exactly 100% skilled or employable। ठीक है, वी आर गिवन एन अपॉर्चुनिटी ओवर हियर। ठीक है, लाइक इन द इनिशियल कपल ऑफ इयर्स यू कैन डेवलप योर स्किल्स, यू कैन एसोसिएट विथ एन एमएनसी और एनी काइंड ऑफ brand, and you can develop your skills. You are given that space over here. Okay, when you see the same scenario in any other country, like let's say talk about USA or European countries, you need to be properly skilled. Okay, you should have that particular knowledge, technical knowledge, then you will be given that role in the company. It's not like here that you are below average and you are still getting those many offers.
So you are telling that being an India is a privilege for the software industry?
Yeah, that is no doubt, because you can see everyone around you, right? You will find 70 to 80% of the people, okay, who passed out with you were not exactly employable. Okay, but still they are doing good now. Okay, so they were given that buffer. Okay, but that buffer doesn't exist in any other country as far as I have like researched about it.
तो अभी मान लो कि like let's take today's example. So softwares are something that like in pioneering it, and then manufacturing we couple of lagged behind. Let's suppose someone wants to build a startup from now and they are targeting like 2 to 3 years. You know, like if someone builds a startup today,
Yeah,
two
it
to three
takes
years of
one years.
basic stage they have to pass, then they will see the outcomes, and it can take up to 10 years. So if someone starts like a software startup and parallelly someone also starting a manufacturing, so what do you think, who will accelerate fast?
So it's easier for software brands, okay, to get that reach, okay, where that utilization will be done. Okay. For a manufacturing brand, Abhi, to get their products to everyone becomes a challenge. Okay. And it does not.
Let's say, suppose everyone gets the equal opportunity, equal investment, and pro rata basis. Let's say, suppose software needs a less investment, they get the less investment, and the manufacturer needs a bigger investment, they get the bigger investment. Okay, so what I think is like सॉफ्टवेयर में अभी क्या है ना अभी नया कुछ करने का स्कोप बहुत कम है you think everything in your mind and do a Google search if someone else already have built it but मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में स्कोप बहुत ज्यादा है मतलब तुम कुछ भी सोचोगे ऐसा नहीं कि गूगल में हर चीज तुमको मिल जाएगा तो उस हिसाब से तुम क्या देखते हो
उस हिसाब से एक फैक्टर इसमें ऐड होता है, ठीक है, दैट इज सॉल्विंग अ प्रॉब्लम. ठीक है, इफ यू आर नॉट सॉल्विंग अ प्रॉब्लम एंड ट्राइंग टू बिकम जस्ट अ पार्ट ऑफ एन ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग मार्केट, ठीक है, so you will become a part gradually, but you it's like one in a blue moon chance that you will make big in that. Okay. But in manufacturing, it also becomes about yield. Okay. If you compare it China, okay, why is China so ahead of us? Okay. Because from a basic level, they have focused on yield. Okay. Let's say they want to make a simple lighter or a simple product, right? They will have big companies just to build that one product. It's
niche
niche. Okay, and they will have heavily invested from the government side and everyone. That the yield of that is very good. So there's no competition in the market based on rate. You cannot compete with China in this. Why? Because the yield in their production is pretty high.
why do you think it's low here because we have the pretty much the same labor as much of China. So what important thing played here?
See, so let's take an example. Take it. We were eating a croissant. Okay. We start making that croissant ourselves on day one. Okay. By the time we do it on day 100, the product will be better.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. You will be having the insights about it. What is the best material? Okay. What is the cheap alternative to it? Okay. How should it be made? Okay. If we are making a batch of 100 croissants, okay. From in the first time, okay, you will get 10 good croissants, 90 bad croissants. Okay. But the time we'll be doing it for the 100th time, the yield increases. Like you will be able to get 99, 98 good croissants out of it. Okay. So here, whenever a product comes here, right, and it competes with a Chinese product, okay, so the first barrier they face is with the pricing. Okay. So now you have seen a culture where they try to put a different price bracket. Okay, they portray themselves as a premium brand. Okay, and so they are trying to create a market like product fit that we are different from the general lot. But still, it's hard for a product
But
manufacturer.
now things are changing, right? The manufacturer wants to do plants in India. India has government has come up with some of the ideas to support manufacturing. Like let's say suppose they want to sell a car in India or sell a phone in India, high priced value item, they have to set up a manufacturer in it in India.
Yeah.
Do you what do you think it's a positive sign of it of the government or the negative sign of it? Because many people are also against it because Tesla doesn't wanted to set up a plant here before they want to see if there is a market or not. Okay, and Indian government is not allowing Tesla to sell cars over here.
So it's a strategic move to boost the our Make in India initiative, which we call, right. So unless there is production happening in the same country, correct, you won't be able to make a larger share of profit for ourselves, okay, for the country. And if you want our country to go in a particular direction where we become an economic superpower, what we say, or anything, right, where we have good prosperity. So it can be done like only one of the several ways, but the major focus should be on production itself. Correct. Until we are making the products, okay.
But
Until we own
but
the
this
products,
strategy will not attract the outside investors,
so
right?
we need that. We are 1.5 billion people. Okay, every single company in this entire world is attracted to come here.
But there is a one thing, the 1.5 billion people are not the consumers or not the high valued consumers. You say one person is is a different segment. Like you can take it as example as another country, like country within country. You can separate like that. Like 1 to 2% people who are the high valued consumers. So a brand, if they want to invest heavily on that 1 to 2% of the people, they first need to taste it. Like if it's the sellable or not, Indian consumers can take it or not, and what is the exact percentage they will target over here. Before that, they
So
will
it's
set up.
applicable to some brands. Okay. So let's say you give an example for Tesla, right? Everyone knows what a Tesla is. Everyone in Indian market also knows what a Tesla car is and what it can do. Correct. They have seen what electric cars are. Okay. They know the price point where Tesla will stand. Okay. So if Tesla wants to do a market research, okay, they can still do it and get a good analysis on how much they'll be able to sell over here in India. Okay. You cannot just loosen the rules for someone who is a big person, right? Who has a bigger impact like Tesla. Okay, it will impact every other field as well, where the majority of the people are using those products. Okay. Tesla will be used by one top 1% of the people. But if we loosen the grip on the rules, what about the remaining 99%? Okay,
So
again the Chinese brand will come
you
in.
are telling that we are so much like powerful for that valued customers, valued consumers we have here. We can make this like rules, tough rule for the brands who will coming from outside.
Correct, because if we don't do that, because again we started this discussion from a point, right? Why it's hard for manufacturing brands to grow in India. Okay, so if there's less competition from outside, okay, you will still get a chance, okay, to
So
compete with
then
the
how
brands.
you will justify the foreign car manufacturing brands are going away from Indian consumers? Let's say I'll take an example of Ford.
Hmm.
And Nissan only have the one cars over here, and so many examples are there. So how this happen? Why
Why
this
did Ford
happen?
go away?
Ford go away because of the BS6 these criteria. They were not able to meet that. But if the consumers were so much up here and so much strong here, and even I still see many Ford's car over the streets. So Ford's easily could inherit those BS6 terms and could start the manufacturing over here. But why they didn't do it? What's the reason?
I think the total turnover for Ford, right? The net profitability they were making from this, okay, was not justified if they set up a entire unit over here.
That means we do not have the strong consumer.
We have strong consumers, but there in different countries it's like different ways you treat a product, correct? So if you buy a car in USA, let's say anywhere in Europe, right? It's like, okay, we have bought a car for some years, okay, we'll upgrade it, we'll change it over some years. But in India, when you buy a car, right, it's there for you at least for 10 to 15 years until the car is you are done with the car, correct? So there's an attachment with the car. Correct. And the other point is the price point matters. Okay, it was not that Ford could not have developed a BS6 engine, like compatible for BS6 engine. They could have easily done that, but the product costing is right. They won't fit in the same bracket where the other Indian brands like Maruti, Mahindra, Tata will fit in because they will have to pay extra duties because they are manufacturing it from outside. Okay,
No, they can do set up a manufacturing in India, right?
but they don't have that much say.
That's my actually point is they do not have that sale. That's why they have to go out of the India. And how and if you are making rules more tougher from international brands, so how you will see this path? Is it like linear path you see, or is it something is going to face harder? मतलब कि हिंदी में बताता हूँ मैं। देखो, एक ब्रांड जो फोर्स, जिसका गाड़ी 5 लाख में भी मिलता था, ठीक है, तो दे विल नॉट, मतलब फोर्स नहीं कर पाया इंडिया में, फिट नहीं कर पाया, तो फोर्ट चला गया। एंड आफ्टर दैट, उसी टाइम BS6 के टाइम में भी ये रूल नहीं था कि बाहर का कार इधर बेच नहीं सकते, ठीक है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इधर होना था। उसके बाद ये रूल लाया गया टू लाइक गिव इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवर हियर।
बट स्टिल अभी इस पॉइंट इन टाइम में बाहर का कार इंडिया में बिक रहा है, राइट?
एज एन एग्जांपल,
Any car from outside you can bring it in India. Okay? The problem is the taxes you will have to pay for it. It's not that they cannot sell their product in here. The point is, if you manufacture
दैट इज,
outside India
वो तो
and sell
इम्पोर्टेड
your,
कार्स हो गया।
no, no, not exactly imported cars as well. So if you are manufacturing outside India, right, and you want to sell over here, you
वो तो
will,
डबल हो जाता है प्राइस।
yeah, so you will have to pay an extra cess because just because you are not manufacturing over here, you are in foreign brand. Okay, so that cess is levied on it. So that's the
तो
difference.
तुम उसका तो ये इधर शोरूम नहीं बना सकते हो, इधर तुम सर्विस सेंटर नहीं बना सकते हो, तो कैसे बिकेगा?
So are all the showrooms here? Okay, जिसका भी है, everyone is manufacturing here itself.
मोस्टली, मैं 1-2% का पता नहीं हूँ, लेकिन मोस्टली मान लो कि जैसे किया का गाड़ी होंडा बनाता है, टोयोटा गाड़ी मारुति बनाता है, और निसान एंड रेनॉल्ट तो इधर ही बन रहा है, ठीक है, निसान का गाड़ी तो रेनॉल्ट ही बनाता है, ठीक है। सो मोस्ट ऑफ आई कैन सी इज हियर। अभी नहीं, मेरे को BMW ऑडी के बारे में नहीं पता है। आई डोंट थिंक ऑल BMW ऑडीज आर इम्पोर्टेड।
Yeah, but some of it is imported, correct? It's still not mandatory to have a manufacturing plant in India. Okay. If you are manufacturing outside India, you will have to pay a cess. So this is a cost that foreign companies will have to bear. Okay. So even when we talk about relations with other countries, right, from China, USA, what's the main point of discussion every time there's a change in government and anything, correct? कि whatever turnover we are having, correct, how much we are importing and how much we are exporting.
Correct. Here is the thing. The numbers are saying that we haven't changed many anything. Like जितना हम 10 साल पहले इंपोर्ट करते थे, एक्सपोर्ट करते थे, उससे 1-2% इधर उधर हुआ है।
No, no,
The
there's
same.
a bigger difference.
No, no, no. If you open it and you see the numbers, I've seen couple of videos and couple of datas. After this Make in India movement, it's there is not like much difference. That's the data actually we're talking. Here is the thing, but still government do not want to do these things. And for the like, don't you think for the luxury item, the 28% bracket plus 12% they take for the larger cars, 50% tax they have to pay? Don't you think this a like a big issue for a government that should reduce it?
They should reduce it. Okay, but they are in a mentality that if you are able to afford a luxury item, right, you should be able to pay extra for it. And it will change gradually over time when government starts making more money from different areas. Okay. Now the limitation is कि if they don't levy these taxes as well, okay, the fund, right, the central fund needs to be there. Okay, and these are the areas they are making some good profit out of it. Okay, but it should change, and I think it will change over time as we gradually grow.
तो इंडियन मार्केट में इज वेरी few people, very few car companies who are making money. Last साल it was we seen a growth, but this year um, Tata also has a piled of stocks. So they are not able to sell. Maruti also.
So the demand for cars is increasing year by year.
I don't know the numbers.
I
Is
also
it?
don't know. Yeah, yeah, the demand is increasing.
कार अभी क्या है ना, 1 साल में अगर कोई खरीद लेता है, फिर 10 साल या 5 साल बाद ही सोचता
Still,
है।
the cars you sell every year, right? It is increasing. Okay. And let's say the foreign players are getting out of market. So who is filling this gap? Indian brands are filling these gaps, correct? So it is a bonus for our brands, okay, that these duties and everything is levied on the foreign brands. But These are some hard steps you need to have, like
But some
when
after
you're
some
growing
time, I
this.
think we need to also withdraw this
Yeah,
when we
after
are
some time, when we
enough
are good enough,
capable enough
capable
to.
enough, we
That
should
means we are
withdraw.
in the. If we buy a car now, after some years, we will we'll get the car at the cheapest cost when these tax brackets will go.
Yeah, but then you'll have BS10. The engine needs to be so refined. Okay, it should work on half ethanol. The engine costing will increase. Like inflation and technology, so everything is going in parallel, right? So the actual price won't be reduced at any point in time if you compare over the years. But yeah, owning like the cost of owning a car, right? At that particular moment, that will gradually come down.
Yeah, that's a good discussion. Do you have anything else in the mind to say in the podcast? This podcast for our first episode. I didn't thought it will go so smooth. अभी क्या लग रहा है?
It's good to have this discussion, ठीक है, but it's more like a habit we need to build.
Correct, correct,
We
correct.
had a good discussion, correct? It was we did not put in a lot of effort. Right? We just sat,
Correct. We
we
just
had a
said we didn't
discussion.
have the exact numbers. Next time
Yeah,
we'll
next
keep a
time
laptop open. I will see the
because
numbers.
we did not have a topic when we
Correct,
started. We
correct,
did not have a topic, right?
correct.
So that's the reason we do not have enough data for it. But
Let's not do it that way. Let's not do a homework for a podcast. Let's do nonchalantly. Okay. And then if you let's suppose we need some data, we can open and see. Nobody is going to judge us, right? We are just doing it. So that's completely fine. We can do argue over it. Yeah, you are wrong. I am right.
definitely.
Yeah, and then see the numbers and who is right. That will be also fun part of it.
Anyways, I got to know a couple of new things.
Yeah, yeah. Me here also. Thanks to Atis. Yeah. So I think here it is. Let's end this up and see
Yeah.
how the output is, and we'll try to get better day by day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We had
Thank
a
you.
great discussion.